Who's going to do this? 1 second. All right, you've got a timer on there. All right, y'all. We're going to await the results of that first ballot. And as we do that, I want to just share with you my report from the parish. At the end of 2019, I was given this glass piece from Pearl River Glass, Melanie McKinley, and of course, Andy had something to do with it too. And on it says 2020. And I remember getting this at the end of the year and looking at it and thinking it was so cool and colorful that I couldn't wait to get it in my office as a way of inspiring me about what was to come in the next year. I was looking forward to a year in the life of our church, a year of growth, a year of formation, a year of new vision. And really, this represented all of that to me. But you probably know where this is going. The pandemic changed 2020 forever, and it changed the life of this parish dramatically, just as it changed your life. It changed it into a year of pastoral care and concern for our people, their families and friends, and a year that we've done our best to remain safe and remain connected. And I think that we've done some good there, and then we've also left some room for improvement. And I'll start by saying that as a pastor, I have done that myself. To begin, I'd like you to remember a time with me, to go back in time to a time when we all stood barefaced right next to each other. No, I'm not talking about the Garden of Eden. I'm talking about January of last year. At the beginning of 2020, we were riding a wave of new energy. We were having attendance. Our attendance was up. Our average Sunday attendance was. Our stewardship was up. There were good vibes every time you came into the church. We kicked off the year with a really awesome bonfire and a great observance of Epiphany out at the Mahaffey's home in the country. Everybody on 49 witnessed our holy fire. It was awesome. Then we had a pancake dinner on Shrove Tuesday. Hey, you remember that? That wasn't too long ago. We had a pancake dinner that the EYC put on for us. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah. And then to cap off that early part of the year, we had a really awesome Mardi Gras, a new face for our annual drawdown. It was great. The food was amazing, the decor was awesome, and it was a good time had by all. And then we know what happened. All right? The spring break. We went away for spring break, and the spring break that never ended. We never returned to our congregation and to our communities in the same way. We started off with Lent with the goal of discerning a vision forward together and talking it through and asking ourselves who we are and where we're going and what to look forward to. And then our mission changed. Before the third Sunday of Lent, the bishop sent out a letter suspending all in-person worship services. If you want to see something kind of funny but mostly annoying, go back and watch that third Sunday of Lent attempt that we did at live streaming. It's really, really bad. But eventually we got better at live streaming, and we found a way to incorporate your videos. We found a way to do services from home, and we kept the creativity going to keep our community alive. Holy Week, Easter, Mother's Day, Youth Sunday, Pentecost. We did all of those things still. We did them online. At the end of May, we welcomed a new person to our staff. I hope you're listening, Andrea, because you are awesome. And I really appreciate you. I have no doubt that Andrea was sent to us by God to help our parish office go to new heights and to make up for my, let's call it, administrative ineptitude. She's wonderful, and I hope you've had a chance to meet her. In fact, you can call her right now if you want to, 601-853-0205, just to check in on her or, get help with your vote. Then we got to come back to church in late June. We published worship guidelines and spaced out the church and put on masked. We were uncertain about how things were going to go, but overall, things went great. Everyone behaved, and it felt strange looking like overdressed ninjas, but we took delight in being back together. Yeah. All right. I told you I was going to be silly. All right. In the fall, our ministries started meeting again. Daughters of the King was back. Joy was back. Centering Prayer. And ministry pods, a group of people, a small group of people willing to be experimental with me in ministry. Appreciate y'all. Even though we were meeting in person, we kept offering virtual services to you as well. And the vestry approved the upgrade of our gear, our live stream gear. Now, could you give me a close-up? Let's just show them what it can do. If you got the ability to go a little bit closer. Okay. Just want to preview and want to preview, but want to show off what our technology can do here. Given a little bit of time. Just want to say thank you, vestry, from me to you. All right, now you can go back to whatever you were doing. They're probably not too impressed with that. Did it go out of focus and stuff? Okay. Yeah, we need a joystick. That's part of the next upgrade, hopefully. Got to talk to the vestry about that. Oh, yeah, you did. All right. Okay, big glare on my head. All right. So eventually in the fall, our numbers crept up to about 50 people at the 10:30 service. Which was very good, and we were building steam, and there were more and more of you that were comfortable seeing the way that we did things and knowing that we were doing things honestly for public spaces. This is one of the safer places that I felt that I was in all of last year. And so our numbers grew up to 50 people at the 10:30, and then we know what happened, right? We suspended in-person services again as the numbers began to surge after Thanksgiving, and we spent Christmas at home and doing our services all virtual again. There's just no doubt that it was a challenging year. We had some successes, we had some failures. Zoom Other Club, that was a total failure. And that's okay. You guys don't like Zoom. That's all right. I get it. But through it all, there has been a spirit of perseverance and genuine love and concern in our community. And it can be felt in just knowing that y'all have been calling each other and checking in on one another, knowing that y'all have been showing up in each other's driveways just to wave from the car, and all of the countless gestures over the course of the year that we shared with one another just to let each other know that we care and we love each other. And every time I got a call from y'all, or I called you, you asked me how I was doing. You expressed, the fact that you were sorry that I had to do this. And, trust me, this is okay compared to what's going on out there in the world. But I appreciate your support. You sent me letters and you sent me emails. Thank you very much. You've lifted me up. St. Column's is a church that has been through a lot. If you think about the long history of this place, it's had its ups and downs, it's had its conflicts, it's had its celebrations. It has persevered, and it will again this year. And we will rebuild this year. There's a lot to look forward to. All right, let me check on where we are with the polls. We're 10 minutes, all right, then the polls are closed. Hopefully we'll be receiving a report on that first ballot soon. And then let me go ahead to the next item in my report and just tell y'all a little bit about our stewardship campaign for 2020. So the first thing to tell you is that it was a successful campaign, and it's successful in ways that maybe we hadn't planned, but let me tell you about. So the first thing to note is that in 2019, our total pledged income for that year was $419,000, and for 2020, it's $392,000. That is a decrease of 6%. So let's acknowledge that. We're a little bit down from last year when we hoped to be 10% up from last year. So I'll admit that that 10% increase was pretty ambitious given that we were in a very uncertain economic situation during the middle of a pandemic. But I remain proud and inspired by the number of pledges we received given that reality, and that our numbers are right there still on par with the majority of our non-pandemic years. So we're where we have been, we're comfortable, there's no reason to be discouraged. And here's some other statistics to share with you. So of our pledges, we had 26 people whose pledge remained the same. That's no change to the amount in their pledge. We had 10 people decrease. We had 43 people increase their pledge. Thank you. It's amazing. Thank you. We had 17 new people who started pledging, and 26 people who stopped pledging. Again, these things reflect the reality of a pandemic, uncertainty economically. To say that I'm not ready to pledge this year, we know you're going to give, right? Because we know that's who you are. So you weren't able to pledge, and that's okay. But overall, again, our pledge campaign was successful given the reality of what we faced last year. I'm excited about what we achieved, and we still have a solid financial springboard to get going in this new year. All right, so are we good? Do we have any numbers yet from the polls? Nothing's come through yet. That's okay. All right, we still got a number of things to get through. So the next thing to talk to you about is the budget. So in the back of your booklet, you will find the budget on the very last page. And if you will turn to that, I'll give you a second to scroll all the way down real quick to the budget there. The first thing that I want to do is thank David Jackson, our treasurer. David has been the treasurer for a long time. And if you know about being a treasurer, you know it's a lot of thankless work of coming in when nobody else is here and putting in the hours that are volunteer hours that happen all in the background. It's probably one of the volunteer efforts in the parish that demands the most work, and David has done it, I'd say, with a great attitude, and I'm thankful for him. What's that? Long live David. Yes. Thank you, David. All right. Let me tell you about the process of how the budget comes to us at this point in the annual parish meeting. So the first thing that happens is we have a finance committee meeting. The finance committee reviews the budget from last year, the actual budget of how things panned out in 2020. We look forward to 2021 to try to make a guess, a recommended, educated guess about what's going to happen in the coming year. And so the finance committee reviewed line by line each item of the budget. It made a recommendation to the vestry. This past Sunday, the vestry approved the 2021 budget, and now here at the parish meeting, it's our responsibility to present that budget to you. And so what you see there on the back of the booklet is a summary of the budget. That's what David prepared for us today to help us keep it simple and clean and get all the numbers that we really need, the big ticket items. If you want to take a deep dive line by line in the parish budget, it's available to you at any time. Just contact the parish office and we will make it available to you and you can have at it, okay? So that is available to you, the larger in-depth budget. But what we've got here is a summary of the budget. So let's walk through this really quick. So what you're going to see in those columns, you've got 2018 all the way to the present. 2018 to 2020 are actual numbers, of course, because they've happened. We know what happened. All right, and then 2020 is what we're budgeting or projecting for the year that is to come. So if you see in general fund contributions, even though I told you we were 6% down, we still anticipate that we're going to get more in contributions than we have in years past. And so you can see that number there, a difference of $25,000. That's because, we believe that 30% above what we normally get in pledges is what can come in. And so we're in good shape there. I just lost a button on my suit. All right. And so you can see also there that on the expense side, all the way down, the personnel expenses, you can go through line by line. And then there at the bottom, you will see what our projected deficit is. So if you remember last year, we projected a deficit of somewhere around 30,000. And our actual deficit ended up being 14,000, right? So let's hope and pray that what we're projecting now is too large. We're being conservative in our projections. All right. Let me get through this, and then I'll call on y'all. So we are projecting in our budget for 2021 that we'll have a deficit of 42,000 in the coming year. Okay. So again, if we go like we have, then it'll be less than that. Right. And so then I want you to take a look at just the cash balance. That means the money in the bank. Right? And where we are right now is you can see this is a positive trend. Every year our cash balance has grown, which it has again this year. And I've been talking to you about that Funding Our Future fund for a long time. It's in good shape. We've only drawn from it to get this live stream upgrade. We have not had to draw on it for deficit purposes up to this point. So overall financial picture is good. And I want you to know that we're in a good position for 2021 to do some good. If you have questions about the budget, I'm going to refer you to David to go into more depth. And again, a deeper dive in the budget is available to you at your convenience. Just call the parish office. All right. So we've got some results. Okay, everybody. Well, I'm happy to announce that it took one ballot for us to get to a majority of votes, right? The three people had to get to a majority of votes. So that's over 50% of the votes. And so with that, we have elected to the vestry, upon approval, Keith Grant, Robin Gorley, and Chris McMillan. Congratulations, y'all. I want to thank Kelly, I want to thank Bethany and Stephanie for also putting their names up. And there are always other areas of ministry, and I want to keep in touch with y'all, and I want to thank everybody that voted. Much love to y'all. Thank y'all for making this pretty easy. And it was a quick count, given all the numbers of votes. So the total number of votes that we had, is this right? 291 votes. No? 100 ballots cast. Okay. All right. Okay. 100 ballots voted 3 times. Right. All right. Sorry. I was just like, whoa. This thing is soaring off into space right now. No. Okay. So, all right. So 100 ballots cast. That's a lot for a virtual meeting. And so it's great level of participation. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, way to go, Tom. That was very smooth. All right, so then, my last thing to share with you before I let Arrington come in here and talk to you about the building a little bit is to share with you hopes and dreams for 2021. And I want to keep this simple. It's a little silly after 2020 to try to come up with concrete plans, and a little silly to get maybe 2 in particular. In particular, when you look at my goals from last year, it's pretty laughable, The pandemic changed things. But I'll leave you with this one hope for 2021, that everyone can be together in God's house. Everyone. I'm talking about little ones running around at our feet. I'm talking about old guys making bad jokes. I'm talking about mamas holding babies and teens sneaking off to God knows where. Everyone here in the same place in God's house. That's what I want to see in 2021. I want to see us happy. I want to see us healthy. I want to see us together. And who knows, maybe we'll even be barefaced. All right. Thank you. All right. So we are done with my report, and with that, I'll quit rambling. And I will let Arrington come up here and talk to us a little bit about what's going on.